And we are live. Good evening in the US or in PT time. I'm in California and I'm with Hannah Cremona. She's actually in Nepal, already in tomorrow. We are talking about how you are enough. And this is for leaders and entrepreneurs in business that really get in their heads sometimes and deal with harsh self-judgment. And I want you to know that after watching this live, you will start to understand why you are already enough to accomplish your goals. So first, I want to introduce Hannah Cremona. She's absolutely brilliant, and I'm gonna let you introduce yourself.
Hey guys, thank you, Radiance, for having me. And I love that we're getting together to talk about these topics that we are so passionate about. So, my name is Hannah. I am from Malta. I'm currently in Nepal, in Kathmandu. I am a business strategy coach. I work with coaches, healers, therapists, entrepreneurs in general who are building their online business. And I help them attract clients through organic marketing.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, so I've actually been connected with Hannah for quite a few years, and I decided to reach out to her about a month or so ago, and we've been connecting, and we decided to do a collab. So I'm actually super excited to be on this live with her because I find her energy very alluring, and yeah, I do. I was looking at so I made actually side note, I made a promo today, and I looked at your picture, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful, but it's like it's a very serene, mystical, mysterious beauty. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for saying that. I'm learning how to receive more, so thank you.
Yes, receive it.
Yes,
Yes. Yeah, I really was. I was like, but I hadn't like taken your beauty in, but I really had a chance to look at your pics, and I was like, oh, I really appreciate it. So yes, I had a slight like crush moment. But that being said, my name is Radiant, and if you don't know me already, what I do is I help leaders and entrepreneurs overcome the reasons why you self-sabotage, so you can get out of your own way, truly own your gifts, live in your purpose, and serve at your highest capacity without feeling guilt for serving yourself first. And we're going to touch a little bit on that tonight with why we feel like you're not enough, and how that touches into your goals as well. So one of the things that I've noticed with leaders and entrepreneurs and how we get in our own heads when we're about to accomplish a goal. And this can be if you are in the six-figure arena, the seven-figure arena, even beyond that, is that at each level, the doubts still come through. And you may think, once I get to the seven-figure level, I won't think like this. I won't doubt myself. Once I get into more money, it's going to make that feeling, that lingering feeling, if I'm not enough, go away. And unfortunately, what I have found that it actually becomes louder. That feeling becomes louder. Those thoughts that percolate become louder. And what happens is, especially as you get into the higher figures in your business, is that you have a lot more to present. You have a lot more to, in so many words, maintain as far as your authority and as far as your ability to show your audience that you can help them. And that pressure starts to mount up, and you're like, okay, well, am I still as powerful as I used to be, or am I still maintaining some sort of status quo, or are there other people that are starting to elevate past me, and how am I going to keep up, and am I really this person that people see me as? And if I'm not this person, how can I change myself to be what they think I should be? It becomes, how am I living up to the image of what my business says I am? And while I understand it can be absolutely daunting to be what people want you to be, I want you to know that that's not what they're looking for. They're looking for you to still be your authentic self. They're looking for you to still be and know that you are enough. So you don't have to edit yourself, no matter what stage in business that you are in. And I want to know what you see as a business strategist for people in these different income levels, Hannah, where
Yeah.
they're starting to have these different doubts and they think maybe, when I make more money, the doubts will go away, but it hasn't gone away.
Yeah, and I can tell you from my experience sitting around the table with coaches who are just starting out or very experienced and successful business owners, CEOs, even coaches who have hit the 6 7 figure mark. They're all talking about the same thing, right? They're all coming in with that, am I good enough? Am I there yet? Am I doing what is intended of me? And can I just appreciate as well that oftentimes the people with this loudest voice have the strongest ethical and moral values, and they like to keep themselves in check. And so it comes to a point where this could be your Achilles heel, like this could be really become your void, or it can really become your what's the word?
The
Your
thing that
catalyst.
helps you break through,
Yeah, exactly.
catalyst.
Yeah, the catalyst for growth. What's going to help you with your next breakthrough, right? Because this could be your defining moment. You can let it cripple you, or you can let it look at where you're feeling not good enough or less than, and really up your standards and up your game. Not as a way of blocking you or not taking action. And I can see this both with CEOs and business owners of multi corporations, as well as in the coaching industry.
Yes, yes. And I love how you said that, like this can either be your Achilles heel or it could be that moment where you decide to break through. Because we all have those moments where we're at a crossroads where we're like, okay, which road am I going to take? Am I going to allow this to be the thing that keeps me stuck or that keeps me in this moment, or am I going to say I'm going to push through and move forward in this direction, even though I may not know what that's going to look like? So when that happens, I feel like there's a few things that you have to decipher within, but the things I'm going to talk about today is, is that thing that's making you uncomfortable, that thing that you need to do, but perhaps you don't know what the other side of that will look like. If that thing that's making you uncomfortable, if it's a thing about feeling safe, maybe there's this next level that you want to achieve, yet you don't feel safe in doing certain actions that will help you get to that next level. Maybe there's your body rejecting doing the thing that you should be doing. I want you to start asking yourself, if your body is rejecting doing the thing because you internally don't want to do it, and if you don't want to do it, how can you build a better relationship or understand the trade-offs of doing the things you don't want to do? Because just because your body rejects doing the thing, and here's the other part of this, doesn't mean you're not supposed to do it. It can just be your nervous system saying, hey, I'm not used to this type of behavior. I don't feel safe because this is unfamiliar to me. And just because it doesn't feel safe and just because it feels unfamiliar to you doesn't mean it's something you shouldn't be doing. So start to analyze the trade-offs, and building a better relationship with doing the things we don't want to do can help us get to those breakthrough moments that Hannah was talking about. So two of the things I want you to take away from this is, just because your body says no doesn't mean it is actually no. Your body may have unresolved trauma that's causing you to say no to this particular thing. And it doesn't mean that your body is directing you in the wrong path intentionally. It means that, hey, it's receiving information from its external environment saying that, hey, this doesn't feel safe, because it's reminding you of something else that resonates with this current situation as, hey, these both situations don't feel safe. Mm-hmm. Just because it doesn't feel safe doesn't mean it's the thing that you shouldn't be doing. And also start to take analysis of what you have to do and how you don't want to do it, and take analysis of the trade-offs of doing things you don't want to do. Because if we always only do the things we want to do, then we will most likely not get to where we want to go. there's always going to be something we don't want to do. And then even if you have a 7 and 8 figure business and you're like, well, I can delegate this thing that I don't want to do to this person. Have you already built a layer of trust with this person where you can trust them to do the things you don't want to do at the level and at the standard that you want them done? So you may have to demonstrate that this is the level and standard I want this particular thing done that you don't want to do, once again, before you delegate it to someone else.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack here. And the first thing I want to bring up is the topic of that you so beautifully described on how to process that is basically the struggle I'm seeing all the time in the online space, especially in the online coaching space, where we talk about misalignment. This is so misaligned, and doing marketing in this way is so misaligned, and doing this way is so misaligned. Question: Is it misaligned, or are you just resisting? Is there something that's resisting? And so, being able to decipher, is this resistance because of something, exploring that, or is this truly misaligned to my values, to my ethos, to my whatever? So I think asking yourself that question and doing that process that you just explained is really helpful to give direction. I lost my frame of thought, but that was one point I wanted to mention for sure.
No, it's a beautiful, and I love that you use those words, misalignment and resistance and ethos, like beautiful words. Yes.
Yeah. The other thing that came up for me as you were talking, and you mentioned earlier on how the inner critic, sort of the voice gets louder as you get as you step up, right? Inevitably so, because there's more at stake. Because there's the financial loss is more at stake. You're probably at a stage in your business where you're employing and hiring, and so people's employment is at stake, and the public opinion of you is at stake, right? So everything is sort of amplified. Amplified. So having the tools to really regulate and question the quality of the thoughts and the judgments, because in actual fact, we are our biggest critic. we judge ourselves more than people are judging us, right? Most of the time. So having those tools and nurturing those tools, getting used to having those skills as you grow is so important.
Yes. I love how you said the resistance again and the misalignment, and also acknowledging that, hey, as you continue to get to these higher levels, there is a lot more at stake. And your inner critic will get louder because you're now thinking of not just you, and of course you're thinking of your clients, but you're also thinking of the people that you're employing and how your decisions will affect your ability to maintain their lifestyles too. So it's a circulation of wealth, as one of my mentors, Aloka Paradise, says. However, that circulation of wealth is now dependent on how well you maintain and regulate yourself. So that being said, I really want to piggyback on the fact that you said resistance and misalignment, because often resistance makes people think, hey, I need to, take a step back. And that's perfectly fine. However, again, resistance doesn't mean stop. Resistance can be your nervous system's way of saying, slow down, take this in. Ask yourself what's right for you in this moment, what's safe for you, what's the next step that actually feels aligned for you, and also making sure that those steps that are in alignment for you are checked within your consciousness and saying, okay, is this the long-term goal that will be met by doing this particular action? Or is me not doing this meeting some sort of short-term gratification where I don't have to question my resistance, where I don't have to dig a little deeper and start investigating why I'm resisting this thing in the first place? Is it giving me this instant gratification of being able to retreat into safety? That's a really big thing too. Sometimes that instant gratification, that sigh of relief, that this feels better, that instant I feel safe, doesn't mean it's actually the best decision and the healthiest decision for your life. It could just mean that at that moment you've relieved a little bit of pressure and stress, and it still delays you from making the decision that will actually propel you forward.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump on that as and share a little bit what's going on in my mind right now,
Yeah.
because I feel like the resistance that one faces. I mean, this could be anything small from a marketing process to a big business decision, right? Where we can experience even on a physical level the same type of resistance, and we can see that you can either allow it to stop you
Right.
and take you out of your tracks and completely, full foot off the pedals,
Right.
hand off the steering wheel, and just like let things go
Right.
loose. Or you can lean in a little bit and ask,
Mm-hmm.
um, is this giving me an opportunity to release slightly, to zoom
Mm.
out and look for new alternatives, to seek
Mm.
new solutions to where I want to go? Maybe
Yeah.
this is an opportunity for me to find a new pathway that is not being taught by others, or that's
Mhm.
my coach hasn't, or my mentor hasn't, figured out, or the industry hasn't. So this could present a lot of opportunities, and new solutions or alternatives for you to still get to where you want to go. It just may mean taking a different route for you and your business.
Yes, I love that you said that too, because there are always alternatives. And often we get so hard set on it's going to be this way, or the way that my mentor says. And we forget that, hey, what if there's a different way that I haven't looked at, that someone else hasn't presented to me? And I just need to find within me by asking myself those more internal questions and getting into my inner dialogue. And I'm someone that's woo woo. If you've been following me for some time, like, you know that. And if you don't necessarily resonate with like inner dialogue, or sometimes I'll use the word like inner child or inner parent, you can always ask, consciously, am I making the decision for the long term? Am I making a decision that will benefit my life? That's more of a conscious decision that you can make. Or is this going to once again provide some sort of short-term gratification where I'm getting that instant jolt of relief and not really looking at how this is going to play a role in my goals overall? And yeah, I'm going to keep it at that because I don't want to get too woo.
We can go on this topic forever and take so many pathways and roads of
Yes, you can.
this. But back to the self judgment.
Mhm.
I totally lost my frame of thought again. This is one of those days that's happening.
It happens. You know what? When it comes to self judgment, too, I feel like we often forget that we're talking to ourselves in ways that other people most likely won't talk to us. And if other people would talk to us the way that we talk to ourselves, I know myself, I probably, it would probably be one of those moments where it's about to be on, or at least I check the moment. So, but we don't check ourselves enough. We often, and I know I do this, I'm fully guilty of this. My inner dialogue, if I don't look at my inner conversations from an objective point of view, and if I'm saying, hey, are my thoughts actually making sense, are these things actually accurate in reality, am I saying things based off of some sort of perception that I have from some other past event, and is this like altering my perception of what's going on? Like, if I'm not radically honest with myself, with my own thoughts, then I will go down a rabbit hole of what I think it is, instead of actually saying this are the hard facts. So
Yep.
one of the things that is talked about in Untethered Soul is he says this, like, your voice is not really you. It's really your brain that will constantly go in so many somersaults until it reaches a resolution that you actually resonate with. And it doesn't mean it's based on reality. It doesn't mean it's based on truth. It's based off of what you think is true, and that may not be actually correct.
Absolutely. You took the words out of my mouth. And what I really was gonna say is, what are the quality of the thoughts? What are the quality of the words? What is the quality of the language that we are
Mhm.
using in that inner dialogue that you mentioned? And
Right.
for anyone who studied any sort of basic neuro-linguistic programming, psychology would know that our actions and our behaviors are a reflection of those thoughts, right? The quality of our thoughts, the quality of our belief systems. Okay, that is what is guiding our behaviors and actions.
Yeah.
So if we are working towards certain goals, if we are working to achieve and move towards certain milestones in our life or business, then we really need to reverse engineer sort of the
Yes.
quality of our thoughts, so that that reflects the actions that we are consistently taking and making each and every
Mhm.
single day, each and every single moment of that journey. As you said, it's so easy to go down rabbit holes. Like,
Right.
I have found myself in so many of these rabbit holes, and then when I stop and go, wait a second, what am I doing? Like,
Yeah.
why am I even doing this? I'm spending so much time, so much energy, and ultimately finances and
Yeah.
other reasons in this thing. But like, what exactly am I going to get out of this, and why am I doing it? And then
Right.
I would realize, actually, as I detangle that, it's from it could be that maybe I've compared myself to someone else and they have the,
Right.
so I think I need to do that, right?
Right.
It's so automatic. It can
Yes.
be so unconscious that we do these things because we have picked up unconsciously that this is what you have to do to be successful.
Yes.
And so you end up doing things that you don't really need to do right now in your business, or that doesn't work for you, or that is not integrated in the bigger scheme of things in your business.
Right.
I hope
Right.
that
Shiny object syndrome, like those things where you're just kind of like picking up things just to pick up things, just to say you picked up things because this person that you saw that you really thought was amazing picked it up, and you're like, okay, I want to be like them. And the next thing you know, it hasn't worked for you because it was never meant for you in the first place, you know? But you spent all this money, so you try to make it work for you, and then it still doesn't work. So yeah, I've been there.
and then the self-judgment on why it didn't work.
It can really get bad because then you're like, what the hell did I just do?
And that is the perfect cycle. That is the perfect depiction of what we call the proverbial hamster's wheel, right?
Yeah,
Because then you're really
yeah,
spinning your wheels when nothing is happening.
right,
And then you're
right,
judging yourself because nothing is happening and everyone else is scaling and everyone else is growing, and I'm stagnant and I'm stuck at 10K, or I'm stuck at 50K, or I'm stuck at 1,000. It doesn't matter. It's all relevant.
right, right, right. Thank you for saying those numbers, because I feel like people that are at 1K, they think that they only have this issue. They think that if you get to 10K, it won't be there anymore. You get to 50K, well, you see my little progeny, it won't get to that level. And it does. Like, they still get stuck in their heads. It's just at different levels of existence when it comes to your relationship with money. But it's still there. And I like how you said the proverbial hamster wheel, because that, like, the way you put it together, I had never put it together in that way, but it's just so true. Like, you just start to go in this circular way of thinking and being with the actions that you take and the quality of your thoughts. That makes a huge difference. It's in And that can be something that we talk about in mindset work, but it's also very scientific. When you have higher quality thoughts, you have higher vibrational hormones that are now being released in your body, and you start to feel better, literally. So it does make a huge difference with how your quality of thoughts and that judgment will play into how you feel and your overall aura, your vibration, or just how you vibe with other people.
Absolutely, 100%. And that's so key, right? It's so vital in just our everyday life, let alone how we run our business, how we manage our teams and lead our teams, and how we
Yeah.
lead ourselves, our clients, most importantly, because hey, everything we're doing is also impacting the clients that we work with, right? So this is key. Yeah.
Yes.
And I think on the self-judgment topic, I mean, I can really speak about this because this for me is something that has been very alive in my journey. And for any of my mentors and coaches who have coached and mentored me, always said, wow, Hannah, you judge yourself a lot. And this is why I feel I can really speak into that part of it. Could be your Achilles heel, or it could be your catalyst for growth. You get to choose. You get to choose, because I could have pulled out of the game a long time ago if I let that happen. If I chose to pull my Achilles heel.
Yes, and you chose not to let it be that, and like look at you now. And honestly, I think it's because you have Virgo. Virgos are so self-judging, like they really are. Like they overanalyze everything and themselves even more. So it's okay. It's just something you were born with, but you're doing great. So, but thank you so much, Hannah. I really just enjoy you, and I'm sure everyone else has. If you want to follow Hannah, make sure you follow her on her Facebook, and she also has her Instagram. She'll post her links in the chats, so that way everybody can like click on the link and shoot her a follow. Is there anything else you want to let people know and close off with?
I think like to wrap up the takeaways from today, really, you're really understanding that space of is there resistance or misalignment, really understanding, again, having that awareness and consciousness of the quality of your thoughts. And looking at the fact that this is not an issue, this is not a problem, rather it could actually be an opportunity for change, an opportunity to improve your standards, improve your quality, an opportunity to be your next breakthrough. So if you find yourself judging yourself, like, let's change the story around that. Let's change the stories around what self-judgment is and what it's doing to you, right? So this could actually be your success story, perhaps.
Right. Yes, absolutely. And to piggyback off of Hannah, yes, like the way that you choose to think about yourself absolutely can be your success story. And this doesn't mean that it has to happen tomorrow. Like you have to continue to take the steps. As Hannah says, this has been something that she has had to work on at different levels in her own business. And Hannah is, in my opinion, a very successful business woman and entrepreneur. So that being said, try not to judge yourself for judging yourself harshly. Give yourself some grace, give yourself some space to really align into that next level life, that next level you, where you can give yourself a little bit more time and space to understand where your thoughts are coming from, and know that even though these thoughts come to you, you can always change to the emotion and to the knowing that you are enough as you are right now to accomplish any goal that you'd like to accomplish. And for the leaders and entrepreneurs that are ready to get to that next level life where they can make investments for themselves, make investments for their kids, buy things for their kids, and not have to worry about what their bank account looks like before they make a choice. If you're someone that says, I want to get to that next level life where I can fully take ownership of my gifts, use my gifts to serve at my highest capacity without feeling guilty for serving myself first. And if you're someone that says, I want to get to that next level life where I can make decisions without teeter-tottering back and forth in your own head, sign up to work with me. I'm going to post a link so you can get a taste of what it looks like to work with me using one of my sessions. We use something called the HEAL method, where we help you harmonize your thoughts, elevate your emotions, align your body, and let go of resistance. And in that session, you will walk away with knowing and a plan with a PDF of how to get out of your own way to creating that next level life. So go ahead and sign up with that. And thank you so much for Hannah being here today. Thank you for watching our lives. We will have our links in the comments for you to either sign up to work with me on a session or to follow Hannah. Thank you so much. And we send you so much love.
Bye-bye.